everyone, how are you all today? So I welcome you to today's session. And do you remember what we talked about yesterday? So we talked about habit 1, be proactive. And we talked about a very big word, being responsible, right? So it's not the adult version, the boring version of being responsible, rather the version that we like, the version that gives us power, right? So we learned something powerful yesterday, and that was that we are not simply products of our circumstances, rather we have the ability to choose our response. So every day we are making choices. We are making choices about our attitude, about our emotions, about the words that we are using, about the kind of person we are becoming, right? We are also making a choice whether to lead our learning or not, right? So let's watch a video where students just like you are talking about the choice that they have made about leading their own learning.
This was me in high school. Good morning. I know the big assignment's due today, but I've just been so busy with grad coming up, and if I had a couple more days to work on it, it would just be so good, and the project's gonna be awesome if I just have an extension. Thank you so much, thank you. You know what? You're my favorite teacher, you're the best. This is my favorite class. Yeah, that's not gonna fly in university.
I think the classes are very, very long because you only get to go to that class maybe once or twice a week, so probably 3 hours in one class and a lot of information in one class.
In school, I and my friends study together, but in college I have to study myself.
They're not going to give you a study guide and say, here you go, here's what's going to be on the test. It's going to be more like, write down these notes, you're taking your own notes, so you have to learn on your own.
A lot less one-on-one, it's just more of a general, they give you the information, you have to learn it yourself.
More in-depth work. They want you to do it right the first time and not have to redo it.
You can turn in stuff late here, but in college they're going to be more strict on it.
I see a lot of people procrastinate when nothing's expected from them, and in university, it's all up to you.
There'd be a lot more pressure from your teachers and your peers and your family and everything else to really succeed.
It's a lot more fast-paced, so you really have to stay on top of everything, and I kind of learned that the hard way in my first quarter. So being able to learn from that experience and kind of failing at first and get my own habits in order, procrastinating, kind of have to get that out of the way. Learning all that has helped me become a better learner overall.
I need to find a public library 24/7 to actually sit down, not have any distractors, and focus on just studying.
Reviewing your notes in college is extremely important.
But the first thing before you start studying is to know what type of learner you are, whether you're like me, a kinesthetic learner, a more hands-on learner, or a visual learner. Highlighting my notes, I like different colored pens, mapping out things.
I feel setting goals is really important. A lot of the tasks that you come across in college are really large, so it's really hard to kind of put that as your goal, I want to go to med school, that's my goal. But you kind of have to break it down into smaller goals to motivate yourself.
Realize what's your weakness, what's your strength, things you could work on. There's always something to learn in college.
So the question is, where is your life headed? Not tomorrow, not next week, not even next year. Where are you actually going? Because here's the truth. You can be incredibly busy doing a lot of things, but still be moving in the wrong direction. So I have a question. Have you ever opened your, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, or Snapchat for just 5 minutes? And somehow 45 minutes disappeared, or even an hour. Yeah? So we have all been guilty of that. I think most of us have. Now you started with a plan, then one video became another, then another, and then another. Life can sometimes feel exactly the same. You stay busy, you complete your assignments, you attend classes, you hang out with friends, you keep moving, but we never stop to ask, where am I actually going? So imagine getting onto a bus. You sit down, you get comfortable, you enjoy the ride, you look out of the window, you enjoy the scene and everything. Hours pass, and finally the bus stops. You step outside the bus and you realize you have arrived in the wrong place. Now, whose fault is it? Is it the driver's fault? Is it the bus fault? Or did you simply get on without having a destination? Now imagine, since we all are using our phones, so imagine opening Google Maps. You type in one destination. Let me give you that destination. The name of that destination is anywhere. So you type in anywhere. What route will Google Maps give you? If you type in anywhere, what is Google Maps going to show you? Nowhere, right? Because that destination matters. And habit 2 teaches us that our lives work the same way. We need to have a destination. We need to have the end. So habit 2 is all about begin with the end in mind. And remember the hand sign that we did yesterday about being proactive? Habit 2 has a hand sign too. Habit 2 says, so you begin, right? You begin with your feet. Begin with the end in mind. So you need to have the destination in your mind before you start anything. And this is exactly what we are going to talk about today. So take out your reflective journals. I'd like you to think carefully about this question. If my life continues exactly as it is today, where might I end up 5 years from now? Don't write what you wish would happen. Rather, write what is likely to happen, what might happen. You have 2 minutes to work on this task. Welcome back, friends. I hope you have imagined yourself from 5 years from now and what is likely to happen if you continue your life as you are doing right now. So everything in life is created twice. First in your mind and then in reality. So if you look at this building, your school building, so the building exists in the architect's mind even before it becomes a reality. Think about any of your favorite movies or any of your favorite books. So it did not come on paper before it came to the author's mind or the one who was creating that movie. So the author or that filmmaker had that plan in his mind even before it came to existence. Think about your favorite video game that you play. So the designer of that game exactly knew the mission that needed to be completed even before you got to know about that game. So everything is created twice. Imagine two students, student 1, student 2. Student 1 says that I just want to pass the exam. On the other hand, student 2 says, I want an A in mathematics, B in science, and another B in social studies maybe. Now I will study every hour, I'm going to study 1 hour every day. Let me ask you this question. Who do you think is likely to succeed? Which student has a clearer destination? There you go. You're absolutely right. Student B. Why? Because student B is not smarter than student A. Rather, student B has a clearer destination because student B has defined the outcome, right? So now what I want you to do is I want you to turn back to your journals. So I'm going to pause this video, and what you need to do is in your journal is that you're going to create 5 headings. The words are on your screen, and in front of those words what you're going to write is, how would I know? How would I know that I'm excelling in school? How would I know that I've improved my health? How would I know that my relationship has improved with my family or friends? And how would I know that I would have a successful future? So you have to write down the outcomes or the evidence that will actually tell you that something that you wanted to achieve. Good? All right, so let's pause this video and open your reflective journals. All right, so now you guys are back from your journal entry task, right? And now we are going to watch a very interesting video in which Max and Holly are discussing about something that they don't feel like doing it, right? So let's go and watch this video, and after this video, we're going to continue with our discussion. Welcome back. Wasn't that an amazing video, watching Max and Holly and watching Holly like in future? So this is exactly what we are going to do right now. We are going to visualize ourselves in the future. So what I want you to do is, I want you to sit comfortably. Close your eyes if you're comfortable, right? And imagine 10 years from now. And 10 years from now, you receive a direct message. You receive a direct message not from any of your parents or siblings or your friends or any celebrity or not even from an influencer. 10 years from now, you receive a direct message from you, older you, a much wiser you, right? And this person from 10 years now is that person has seen all the challenges that you have gone through, all the problems that you have gone through. Even knows all the successes, all the failures, all the feelings and emotions that you went through, every lesson that you learned. Think about, what is this older person thanking you for? What is this older person telling you that you should keep doing? What is this older person wishing that you would stop doing? What kind of person has this older person become? And what is this older person most proud of? So this is the prompt that you need to work on. What did my future self tell me? And I'm going to pause the video so that you can do your reflection. Welcome back from the future. So, we have been talking about destination and knowing where you want to go. Definitely, it matters, right? But what matters more is knowing who you want to become. Because goals tell us where we are going, values tell us how we will get there. This brings us to the second highly effective practice, that is creating and living a mission statement. Highly effective people, they do not just live a life, they live a life with a purpose. They have their future in mind, just like you did right now. You thought about your future. So this is exactly what we are going to do today. We are going to write our first draft of mission statement. But before that, I want you to think about your phone's GPS. When GPS loses its signal, what happens? You get lost, right? So a mission statement is just like your internal GPS. It guides your direction when life gets tough, or it gets confusing or challenging. When your friends are pressuring you, when nobody is watching you, when you're feeling like you have a difficult choice to make, your mission statement comes to your rescue. It reminds you of who you are. So now we are going to do a value discovery activity. It's going to be displayed on your screen. There are some questions that I want you to think through very honestly, reflect about them, and put down your answers in your reflective journal. So the questions that will be coming are, what kind of person do I admire? What values matter most to me? What kind of person do I never want to become? And you have some time to think through these questions, all right? So I'm going to see you back after your introspective activity that you're going to do right now. You can also now see on your screen a simple formula that will help you to get started with writing your first draft of the mission statement, right? And that formula is very simple. First thing that you need to think about is, I will be a person who. So in future, I want to be a person who's kind, who's helpful. Another question, another statement is, I will use my strengths. So whatever talents and whatever strengths that I have, I will use my strengths to do what? Maybe to help the community, right? Think about that. And the third one is, I will make a big difference by doing what? By helping others, or by spending my time on doing something that is beneficial for someone. I don't know what you're going to think. So I'm going to give you some time to think through this formula. Put down your formula together before we start with our mission statement. All right, now that you have your formula with you, I'm going to play a video, a very interesting video. So I want you to watch through that video very quietly without any interruptions, right? But here's a rule. What you need to do is, while you're watching this video, think about the things that you have just written in your formula. And you have to expand your thinking there and continue writing about whatever formula that you have written here, right? Who you want to be, what will happen about your contributions, how will you use your strengths. Think about this thing and write as much as you want without stopping, without thinking, without making any corrections. But when are you going to do? So I'm going to play this video, and in this video you're going to see some visuals. Once the visuals stop, and the music is going to continue. So while the music is playing, you continue writing. Congratulations, you have just written your first draft of your mission statement. I'm going to show you some examples of mission statements that other people have written. They're going to appear on your screen. Let me just read out one for you. So someone said, I will be disciplined when nobody is watching. I will push myself to improve every day. I will compete with integrity and respect. So here's a trap. Many people overestimate what they can accomplish in a week, but they underestimate what they can accomplish in a year. So don't try to change your whole life tonight. Take one step at a time. Focus on one next step. So what you need to do is the mission statement that you have drafted, I would like you to go through it again and revisit it again and again. Refine it so that you have a purpose in life. You're not just leading a life, but you're leading a life with purpose. And in your notebook, I want you to answer these 3 questions. What did I learn about myself today? What kind of person do I want to become? And what is that one action I will take after today's session? As we finish, complete these 3 statements as well. They are going to be displayed on your screen right now, right? So the 3 statements that I mentioned, they are going to be there. So let's begin with that. Okay, now remember that the future is not something that you discover. It's something that you create. Because highly effective people don't drift through life. They refine the outcome. They create a mission, and they make daily choices that move them closer to becoming the person they choose to become. So thank you for joining me, and remember, begin with the end in mind. Bye-bye.